get started. First thing, Phil and Andy will not be attending tonight. First thing up, Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the board met in executive session to discuss some legal and personnel issues. We will be meeting Wednesday evening for some personnel issues, I guess, and some legal issues. Secretary correspondence, none tonight. IU report.
Okay. Good evening. My report starts, and the meeting was held on May 17th at the Educational Service Center in Downingtown. And we appointed a new board member because Mr. Robert Yurzak resigned, and we added in Miss Barbara Albright from Downingtown Area School District. She was appointed to serve on our board. And the 2017-18 CCIU organizational goals were presented for the first reading to the board for consideration. Dr. O'Brien asked for any feedback or changes, as the goals will be presented for approval at the June 21st meeting coming up next week. The draft goals are as follows. Number 1, continue and expand leadership development program. 2, primary directive for our budget goal to continue to budget within Act 1 parameters. 3, customer satisfaction, develop and conduct a customer service satisfaction survey of CCIU internal and external stakeholders. 4, increase Chester County Intermediate Unit organizational efficiency by 1%. 5, facility goals. The Pickering campus, new roof replacement. The Stanley Landis building, add STEM education. Number 7, develop a new method for calculating occupational education that moves supplemental cost to a new marketplace approach. Number 8, provide district solutions by coordinating curriculum services. 9, establish community partnerships with local and municipal agencies. And 10, provide solutions to expand and create new marketplace programs. In personnel, the CCIU Board of Directors approved the collective bargaining agreement with the Chester County Intermediate Unit Education Association, the CCIU-EA, for the term of August 15, 2017 through August 14, 2020. The next Board of Directors meetings will be held Wednesday, June 21st at 7:30 at the Educational Service Center on Boot Road in Downingtown. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Anything out of Harrisburg? Legislative report.
Yes. State budget update. The first full week of June was a busy one in Harrisburg. And as we get closer to the end of June, tensions, anxiety, and the number of folks in the Capitol building will continue to increase exponentially. With pension reform the main attraction at the circus this week, the budget was on the back burner. However, as the legislator is busy looking for change under the couch cushions, the House set the stage for a revenue discussion surrounding gaming that is likely to continue next week. Recognizing that progress needs to be made on filing the massive and filling the massive deficit for 2017-18 before some real budget negotiations can begin, the House passed House Bill 271 by a razor-thin margin, 102 to 89. The bill makes several gaming-related changes that could result in $250 to $300 million in new revenue. The bill combines many of the individual gaming-related revenue options, and if you go online, you will be able to get all that detail. Legislature passes pension bill. Pension reform? Check. Whether agreement on the much sought-after issue was as a result of divine intervention, issue fatigue, or something else, the legislature has managed to pass a bill that attempts to address Pennsylvania's pension issue by developing a new plan for new employees that shifts the risk in the system long term. The Senate approved the bill with a 40-9 vote, and the House sent the bill to the governor with a 143-53 vote. Governor Wolf is expected to sign the bill shortly. Fiscal impact. Overall, the focus of this bill is shifting the risk, not savings. The bill provides about $4.2 billion in reduction of unfunded liabilities, but nearly all of this is from SERS, not PSERS. The shift to the new plan design for new employees under PSERS will reduce the employer contribution by an estimated $217 million by the year 2050. That's a long time from now. However, employer contributions will increase slightly in the short term. Risk shift. In terms of shifting the risk to employees, for PSERS, this proposal is estimated to reduce the need for future employer increases by 53%, a 58% reduction for SERS. The combined value of this risk shift is estimated to be $6.5 billion. Additionally, under this proposal, employer contributions would increase less than under current law if the investment rates of return are reduced below current assumptions. This is as a result of the fact that the new plan design is less impacted by investment return changes than current law. Assessment appeals update. The vote on House Bill 1213 was delayed last week, so we live to fight another day, although that day is likely to come on Monday, June 12th. We continue to anticipate, or June 12th, we continue to anticipate that this bill will be on the House calendar next week, as there is increasing pressure to move it. I don't know whether this bill went today or not, but we'll find out, and then I can email everybody and let everybody know. We continue to anticipate that the bill will be on the House on Monday, which is today. Please continue to reach out to your House members on the bill mentioning the impact on the school districts. Should your assessment appeal rights be limited, the impact on the rest of your fairly assessed taxpayers, higher property taxes, and the underlying fairness concerns when taxing districts have their appeal rights slashed, but taxpayers do not. The House Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee will meet on the 12th to consider several bills, including House Bill 944, which creates a Commission for Agricultural Education Excellence to assist in developing a plan for agricultural education and coordinate the implementation of agricultural education programs with the Department of Agriculture and PDE. The House State Government Committee will meet on Tuesday, tomorrow, to consider several bills, including House Bill 1479, which excludes from the definition of public body under the Prevailing Wage Act school districts that are in financial watch or financial recovery status. The House Labor and Industry Committee will meet on Tuesday to consider several bills, including House Bill 18, which requires the PA Department of Labor and Industry to adopt an evidence-based drug formulary for the workers' compensation program and requires standards for utilization review organizations and peer review organizations to ensure that they meet the same certification requirements as those that do utilization reviews for other types of health insurance. House floor calendar looks pretty full for next week. We've got House Bill 1213, which is Representative Warren Kemp from Chester County here, which prohibits a taxing district from appealing an assessment based on the purchase or sale of a property, the financing or refinancing the property, or following certain investments or improvements to the property. House Bill 1285 amends the PA Constitution to permit taxing jurisdictions to exempt from taxation up to 100% of the assessed value of a homestead property. House Bill 866, which amends the Local Tax Enabling Act to do several things, including expanding the provision related to credits for payments to other states, allowing any other EIT assessed or any change in EIT rates made by other state law to be created or credited and allowed as a deduction from EIT liabilities. Senate floor calendar, and I'm just going to read them off because it's pretty packed. Senate Bill 586 prohibits a taxing district from appealing an assessment based on the property or sale of a property. Senate Bill 229 removes several provisions from the public school code, including the requirement to provide up to 25 days of accumulated sick leave. Senate Bill 88, which prohibits content-based censorship on historical U.S. or Pennsylvania documents and ensures that no teacher or administrator is prohibited from using, reading from, or posting in a public school excerpts from historical documents. Senate Bill 383, which permits school boards to adopt policies allowing school personnel to have access to firearms on the grounds of a public school. Senate Bill 592, which requires offers of employment made to a prospective superintendent and other administrators. Senate Bill 494, which prohibits a collective bargaining agreement from permitting full-time union leave. Senate Bill 128 is on the Senate calendar for next week, and it prohibits municipalities from mandating that all employers within the municipality comply with certain employee leave policies. And lastly, Senate Bill 406, which requires a 2/3 majority school board vote to increase property taxes from the prior year. And that concludes. They're going to be really busy over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And a lot of these bills that are up, although I'm not giving you the minute detail, really do affect us. So I think I'll work with Chuck over the next couple weeks, and we can put something together and send it to your emails to give you a little bit more than what I just gave you on the things that we consider to be really hot button items. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports? All right, seeing none, move on to recognition. The last couple weeks we had some different student recognitions. Tonight we have some Eagle Scouts to be recognized. So at this point I'd like to have Scoutmaster Brian Holton, is that right? Come up to the podium, and why don't you introduce, there's 3 of them. That's okay, we can still recognize them even though they weren't able to make it. Yes.
My name is Brian Holton, and I am Scoutmaster for Boy Scout Troop 7 in Malvern. This evening, I would like to recognize the outstanding achievements of 3 Boy Scouts who are recent graduates of Great Valley High School. These 3 students, Ian Johnston, Moses Stubbs, and Kyle Zalkind, have all earned the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest rank in scouting. All 3 have made lasting contributions to our community. Kyle Zalkind is with us today. Kyle was a very active member of Troop 7 from his early days as a grade school student. As he progressed through the ranks, his leadership qualities were recognized by his fellow scouts, and he was elected by them to serve as a patrol leader for several years. Kyle was a regular participant in weekly camping trips and a week-long summer session at Camp Horseshoe, and he also participated in the high adventure sailing trip to Sea Base in the Florida Keys. For his Eagle Service Project, Kyle planned, raised funds for, and managed the construction of a 100-foot-long stone walkway for historic Sugartown. Kyle is looking forward to furthering his academic career at West Chester University in the fall. Ian Johnston served our troop in many leadership positions throughout his scouting career, most notably as patrol leader and a troop guide. He attended summer camp for several years and gave leadership on weekend camping trips on a regular basis. He also learned to sail at Sea Base High Adventure Camp. In addition to earning the 21 merit badges required for Eagle Scout, he planned, managed, and successfully completed a service project that entailed the construction of outdoor break area for the employees of Baker Industries. Ian is looking forward to studying anthropology at the University of Maine in the fall. Moses Stubbs was a very active member of Troop 7 from the beginning. He regularly attended camping trips and our annual Week of Summer Camp, where he was recognized by his fellow scouts by being elected patrol leader and assistant patrol leader. At camp, Moses earned the Silver Buckle Award, which is awarded by each troop to the scout who demonstrates the finest example of scout spirit throughout the week. For his Eagle Scout service project, Moses planned and managed the construction of bat boxes for Okehocking Preserve. Moses' future plans call for lots of travel and a college education, and he has aspirations to become a teacher. All three of these outstanding young men were elected into the Order of the Arrow, Scouting's National Honor Society, for showing excellent leadership qualities and commitment to the Scout Oath and Scout Law. All three have served their troop and their community with distinction. It is my honor to have the opportunity to recognize their achievements before you today. Thank you.
All right, next thing up is student representatives to the board. We have some new appointees for next year, and asked Heidi to introduce them.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here. As you know, we had a wonderful graduation on Friday night, and we said goodbye to Joshita Varshini and Ram Palinati, who did an excellent job as our student representatives to the board this year. But we have a young man and a young woman who are ready to do as equally, if not better, job. We have rising senior Tyler Beauclair, who will be our student representative to the board, and our alternate is Millie Field. So, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Capitola. We're very excited to work with you, Tyler and Millie, and really look forward to our first meeting in August. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. If you want to go and study, that's okay. I know you got, I mean,
We understand finals.
finals are today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, so we get it. So it's okay if you guys want to take off and stuff.
Thank you. Have a wonderful end of your year.
They thought they'd get off. All right, next thing up is superintendent's report.
I believe prior to that, President Barrett, the foundation at Great Valley will be presenting, and Ann Giuliano is giving us an update on the foundation. Thank you so much.
I have many skills. Use of technology that my students will tell you is not one of them. Which button? It worked before. It did work No, that's, yeah. I blame Chuck. As a review, the foundation at Great Valley provides the Great Valley School District with funds and resources to enhance or expand educational opportunities that the district provides to all of our students. And we're dedicated to upholding educational excellence in the Great Valley Public Schools and promoting innovative opportunities that inspire students by bridging our community with our schools. And we partner with all areas of the community to bring support and funding to the schools. We fund sort of two basic buckets: teacher-initiated grants that we call venture grants, and district initiatives related to the comprehensive plan through an annual contribution to the Great Valley School District. Ooh, I went the other way, and now we're starting again. So venture grants, which are the teacher-initiated grants, I'm happy to report that we've just completed the grant selection process for the 2017-2018 school year. This year, the Grant Selection Committee considered 9 grants submitted by teachers at all levels within the district, and each grant was evaluated according to the foundation's funding principles, which ensure that funding is congruent with our mission, that it supports innovative programs and the district's comprehensive plan, and that we're supporting the needs of district students and their families. The Grant Selection Committee is made up of a parent from each school who volunteer to participate. This year I chaired the Grant Selection Committee, and I was very, very impressed by these parents and the dedication they gave to the grant selection process. They took it very seriously. They reviewed all of the grants. They did their own research about the grants. It was wonderful to work with these parents. The recommendations that they made then went to the foundation board last month, and I'm happy to share that the foundation will fund 7 grants for the next school year that total almost $22,000. This program is one in which we take great pride. We are thrilled to be able to work with the teachers and the staff members to support their ideas. So what are these grants? Oops, we're going backwards again. I'm going to figure this out. So these are the grants that will be funded for the next school year, and they cover a variety of curricular areas, including life skills, technology, language arts, science, social studies, and art. So we're very grateful for the teachers who think innovatively about their curriculum and about student learning. And some of the teachers, you can see there's Bluetooth chemistry sensors for iPads. So the teachers at the high school are realizing that their sophomores will have iPads, and so they applied for grants that would make use of the iPads in their classes. And I ran into Ellie Doyle in the hallway at General Wayne, and she had one of the little Ozbot robots that are like this big. She was so excited. She's like, here's one, and we're going to start with it this week. She teaches first grade. She's going to have the first graders programming these little spheres that are like this big. And she was very excited, and I could see why. It looked very fun. As we've done in the past, we continue to offer our area businesses an opportunity to support our schools through our Partners in Education program. So tonight, I want to publicly thank these 3 businesses in our community who have chosen to make contributions that qualify them as Partners in Education. All of these organizations are repeat partners in education, and through their support, demonstrate a commitment to public education in Great Valley. They understand the connection between strong schools and strong communities, and know that an investment in public schools is a value investment in the future workforce for them and our community and the long-term sustainability of our economy. And if you'd like to be one, there's information on our website. And finally, I'm excited to share that our annual Take a Swing for Students golf event will be held next Monday on the 19th. If you are wanting to get in and golf, too bad, it's a sellout right now. We're very grateful for the businesses and all the community members who have come out to support the schools. However, great news for you, dinner tickets are still available, and they can be purchased on the website. There's a great buffet. There's a wonderful auction and raffle event. Usually there's something that classes from the high school have made that are auctioned off. Adam McKay, who produced Anchorman, got a framed picture of the cast, and they all signed it, so that will be auctioned off if anybody's a big Anchorman fan. If anybody doesn't know what the movie is, just pretend I didn't say that. So if you're not a golfer, please consider coming to dinner to support us. So thank you for the time tonight to update you on what's happening with the foundation. We're very grateful that we have such a good relationship with the school district, with the school board, that we're able to work together to keep Great Valley great. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and it truly is appreciated, and the partnership is amazing. So thank you so much for that. The superintendent's update, this is one of the most special times of the year. It's a culminating time. Graduation was Friday night, which was amazing. And we also have a lot of end of the year drama productions, music productions, and just awards of our amazing students. So some of these, certainly not an inclusive representation of all of them, or we would be here until next Monday night after the golf outing. In Charlestown, kudos to the first graders and the wonderful, they had an author's tea last week, which was a lot of fun for the students and the big people. Our fourth grader also won the bronze medal at the CCIU Math 24 competition. If you've ever seen that competition, it truly is a competitive, high stakes. They have to solve equations to make 24 with cards. And the students, every free moment they have, they practice this game. And it's a huge accomplishment to win at the IU event because the competition is even greater. Also, you'll see the Charlestown Field Day 2017 banner that was made by the art teachers, designed and finished. And that field day, as well as the other field days across the elementary schools, were a great success. I'm sorry, Mr. Linderman, going a little slowly. Katie Markley, happenings. Anne Marie Lorene, as was on our website, and we had shared, physical education teacher at Katie Markley. She was the recipient of the School Nutrition Educator of the Year Award, and that was for all of the amazing things she does as far as wellness and nutrition at Katie Markley, and she also has shared with Sugartown as well this year as we've expanded her role. She's been amazing with helping students be fit as well as in the areas of nutrition. Also at Katie Markley, there was a safety day, so many first responders, a helicopter landed in the field, and the students had an opportunity to explore and learn. It truly was an incredibly powerful demonstration of the high-tech involvement of our first responders and all modes, ambulance, police, helicopters, fire trucks. It was wonderful to see the students explore, and they were so motivated. General Wayne, Healthy Habits Assembly, General Wayne, they've partnered with Fresh Start Fitness, and all through the year there have been Skype sessions back and forth talking about moving and keeping fit, and it really is an outgrowth of the Wellness Initiative and the Wellness Committee district-wide. So more to come on the Wellness Initiative. We had the 5K race that was also part of that Wellness Committee, and it really is taken a hold at each of our elementary schools, and one of the demonstrations is the Healthy Habits Assembly. The annual field day at General Wayne was a huge success, and it was the second year for an all-day field day, and the first year that kindergarten was included. Those students really enjoyed it. Ray Fulmer and Dustin Casper were the leads, the physical education teachers at General Wayne, and they did an amazing job. Our Sugartown happenings, the Blue and White Assembly, was May 31st. That was all the accomplishments of the Sugartown students. All those students who have worked hard all year had an opportunity to celebrate. The annual Lego Expo was held on May 19th. And if anyone has a desire to see really incredible Lego displays, the Lego Club is the place to do it. The district elementary 4th and 5th grade orchestra concert was held at General Wayne, but it was representative of a district-wide 4th and 5th grade orchestra students. Also, Joy Dominski, working with the secondary music staff, had a district-wide Strings Fest. It was the second annual Strings Fest on May 24th at the high school. And I have to tell you, the last music piece that was students grades 4 through 12. Amazing. And I want to say it was, I'm going to get this wrong, it was a popular pop, I want to say Led Zeppelin. Yes. They did a Led Zeppelin song in orchestra version. Was truly, and I did recognize it. So that is, it was very, very well done. If you want chills, it's a great, you can attend the 3rd annual Strings Fest at the high school. Kudos to the middle school. 8th grade student Shrey attended the state computer fair at Dickinson College. Members of the chamber orchestra, jazz band, and select choir attended the Music in the Parks Festival at Hershey. It was a morning of competition and an afternoon of enjoying Hershey Park. And you can see our chamber orchestra, our jazz band, and our select choir all received first place recognition. Amazing. Congratulations to all 5 of the middle school Reading Olympics teams. They attended an event on May 23rd. 2 teams earned blue ribbons, 2 earned red ribbons, and 1 earned a white ribbon. Middle school happenings to continue. The select choir, they actually had Dr. Rollo Dilworth, who's a world-renowned music composer and educator, attend and work with them, and he actually helped guide them through the creation of composing a song and the process, and answered questions about that area of work. Many of the students really appreciated the event and learned a lot. The 8th grade at the middle school had their Washington, D.C. trip at the end of last week, and of course had an amazing time, and there are some pictures of our super 8th grade students. High school star performers, we had the Shikra competed in the 2017 National American Miss Teen Pageant. The high school boys tennis team competed in the PIAA championship match, and they finished in 2nd place in the state. Our high school softball team made it to the first round of the PIAA state championships. Big congratulations to the girls and the coaches. Last Monday at this time, they were traveling to Scranton, to Penn State, and that is where they had their 2nd game. Amazing season. High school junior Grace Eisenhower was selected and awarded as a finalist the Hal Leonard Musical Theater Vocal Competition in the high school division. And amazing it was, there were thousands of entries for that competition. Our AP Environmental Science and Ecology classes planted sunflowers along the walkway in the courtyard, and they planted 3 small trees by the science wing as well, and that was a gift of acknowledgement and appreciation to the school. Also, our high school music teacher, Matt Saracini, was recently elected as president-elect of PMEA District 12, and the nominations for Mr. Saracini were really fabulous, and I was very proud that he is representing the Pennsylvania Music Education Association at the state level. In addition, the high school happenings, senior awards ceremony was Thursday, May 18th. The senior prom was Saturday, May 20th. The 11th and 12th grade students participated in a mock crash. Kudos to the high school administration for an amazing demonstration for our students in partnership with State Farm, Paoli Hospital, and Bryn Mawr Rehabilitation. In hearing from the students, it was a very powerful event. Also, our Spring Arts Festival was held on Tuesday, May 23rd, and it was so wonderful to see our elementary students' art posted with the middle school and high school art. And it was many modes of fine art, not just the arts that we would think of typically. So it was a great demonstration. Our high school girls volleyball, boys basketball, and softball coaches were honored for their Chesmont Division Championships at the Chesmont Banquet on May 30th. And the high school, if you remember, the Special Olympics in Chester County was to be held in Coatesville, and after 2 delays, they decided at the second time that the weather was not conducive, it was canceled. So an amazing representation for Special Olympics was held at the high school, for the high school and middle school students. It truly was a great opportunity for our students to compete in front of their peers, our high school and middle school students. And actually, after the event, some of the students had requested we have our own Special Olympics every year. They really appreciated. The band was there, the cheerleaders. It was truly a great celebration for our students. Also, high school happenings, and you can see in that picture, the high school rock band held their annual concert in the courtyard during lunches. A lot of great talent we have in our school, as you can see in the classroom, in the arts, and on the athletic fields. In May, the high school principals and counselors, Mr. Harvey and Mr. Martin, went to Technical College High School Pickering to discuss new programs and to bring that information back for our students. And the last high school happening, as you can see, was the culminating event of last week. It was a beautiful graduation ceremony, and much more to come to celebrate for our outgoing senior class, the class of 2017. A lot of good things happening.
Sounds like everybody needs a summer vacation. All right. That concludes all the program section. Next thing up will be the voting section for the meeting. Before we vote on any of the agenda items, I will open up the microphone for public comment on any item that's up for vote on the agenda. There will be another public comment section at the end of the meeting for any other comments unrelated to the voting item agenda items. I don't think that made sense, but so if anybody has any comments, please come to the microphone, state your name, residency, and please try to limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. All right. Seeing none on the voting items. First thing up is the consent agenda items. So do I have a motion for consent agenda items number 7.01 through 7.30? Motion, a second? Motion and a second. Any questions or comments on any of these? I know we discussed a lot of them last week. All right, seeing none. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. All right, next thing up is the election of treasurer. Every year the board has to re-elect, or elect, I should say, treasurer for the year. Do I have a motion for treasurer?
I'd like to make a motion to elect Jennifer Armstrong as treasurer for the upcoming year.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments?
I'd like to make a couple comments, if you don't mind. So Jen has been in the business management business since the 90s. She has a background in managing businesses in the healthcare arena. She also regularly attends the audit reports. I know she's attended several of the annual audit reports in the last 6 years. And I believe that her expertise is in bookkeeping and in accounting. So I think that I would like to recommend that we give Jen a chance at the job.
I'm also supporting Jen for a number of reasons, including how I've seen her handle numbers and the ease at which she's able to explain complicated things. Like, I'm in the healthcare field myself and don't always understand all these new rules and regulations coming down, and the fact that she's able to read them, distill them, and explain them in a way that makes sense is appreciated and wonderful. I also just think in general that I'm in favor, just as like a philosophical thing, of having people try different positions and move around and just get different experiences. I feel like when we have shifted things, I tend to learn more because, like, sometimes it's assumed that you know certain things, and then somebody else comes in and they're like, hey, did you know? And so I feel like as a board member, I learn more when we do have some, just exchange of information and change. I think Phil has done a great job, but I definitely would welcome a new voice.
All right, any other comments? All right, motion is for Jen for approval for treasurer. All those in favor? All those against or opposed, I should say. Motion fails 4-3. I have another motion for treasurer.
I'd like to move to appoint, re-elect Phil Foray as treasurer.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to have some discussion. I think that some of this might be more suited for a discussion on job description, because I can't necessarily fault Phil for this, but I feel that the executive committee should be available to board members. And Phil is not always the best at communicating, which is part of the reason why I put myself forward, that he doesn't, and I know that, I don't know that that's an expectation that we necessarily have as a board, but it's something that I would definitely like to talk about, that when we're not here at meetings.
I don't think it's appropriate to chastise other board members, especially when they're not here.
That's for you. My other thing that I would like to talk about with the treasurer's position is that we take a look at the treasurer having to attend the annual audit meetings, because I do think that it's important for our treasurer to go to those meetings. And I understand that right now, again, that's not necessarily a requirement of the position, but I would like us to look at that in future.
I just have a question. Can you, as president, can you just recap what the requirements and the expectations of the role are, just so I'm clear as a board member?
Yep. As with all of our roles are one of 9 on the board. As treasurer, there's no requirement to be a financial guru or an accountant. As with being president or vice president, there's no special criteria. The role is to sit on the executive committee, which handles mostly just going over the agenda before these meetings to make sure that there aren't any outstanding questions that need to be addressed or answered by the administration. And the treasurer also signs the invoices. I'm not even sure the exact, nothing, sorry. I thought he signed something once a month. So other than that, it's not, that's the role. And it's, like I said, it's one of 9 appointed by us annually.
And Dave, could I ask a follow-up question? Do other boards do it like we do it and elect every year, or do other boards have a situation where
No, it's required by the
I'm not
state.
done yet.
I'm sorry.
Or do they rotate positions at all, the way that some, for example, committees change, or department heads in the school, like they may have a rotating schedule. Are there other ways of doing this that?
Well, first, it's required by law that every May, right, just so everybody knows, that we elect the treasurer, and every December, the president and the vice president. Every board, from what I understand, does it differently or can do it differently. Some have self-imposed term limits. Others just have, I met somebody at PSBA who has been board president for 12 years. So it runs the gamut. I think there's no requirement one way or the other.
I'd like to add, I understand that it's not an overly qualified, financially qualified position. However, I would hope that the title of treasurer would carry with it the responsibility to attend the things that are financially based, like our audit report and other things. And I have attended 4 of the 6 audit meetings, and our treasurer I've not seen there. So I think we have an opportunity, and it's not chastising other board members. It's more or less just stating facts. I think we have an opportunity to get another perspective, a fresh perspective, somebody who does have a financial background and is willing to make that commitment to stay connected to that end of it. So I'd like us to take advantage of that.
And these discussions, I think you can look from the outside and say, isn't this horrible? The board disagrees. But I have a different opinion. I actually think that it's really good that we're talking about this, because when we have discussions and when we make the decisions, often our minds are not made up until the final vote. And these have to be done in the sunshine. Like, we can't sit in a back room and decide who comes in here who's going to be treasurer. It's just not the way that the system works. So these decisions are made in the public, and sometimes it's embarrassing, sometimes it's hard, sometimes asking questions like, well, what does the treasurer do? Like, things that would be easy to do behind closed doors, but I can't do that. I need to ask here where we're on the same page, where we all have access to the same information, and where there's witnesses. So I want to take away, I want it to be a takeaway that, the board is still very unified. We still put the students' needs first. And when it comes to administration of ourselves, I think it's okay to have some discussion and dissent. I think it's okay to have different opinions. And I don't want this to be overblown into, oh my gosh, the board hates each other, because we don't. We're able to calmly talk. We're all individuals. We all have our own opinions. Sometimes things go my way, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I think we should do one thing, we don't. I will fight till the end of my life for science to be expanded and for Spanish in the elementary schools or any language. I would love full-day kindergarten. It's not happening, I get it. So we all carry things that we want really done, but we're all trying to do what's best for the school. And this is something where we have different opinions, but I think we're going to get to a good place. So.
The good news is we're all on the same boat for making sure everything, same team, good point, for making sure that everything's done right for the students. All right. Any other comments, questions? All right, all those in favor of the motion for Phil to be elected as treasurer? All those opposed? Motion passes 5-2. All right, next thing up is policy approvals. First thing up on the agenda is, personnel items. I like to jump ahead. Personnel items.
Move to approve 9.01.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions, comments on them? Any policies or any personnel items? All right, all those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Next up, I guess we got to take these one by one. Or I guess we can approve 1001 to 1003, policy to rescind is listed there. Revised policies are listed and the second readings are listed. So a motion for 10.01 through 10.03.
So moved.
Motion and a second.
Second.
All right, any questions on any of these policies? All right, any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor of motion? Motion passes 7-0. There's also a listing of the policies for the first reading, which will be voted on in the meeting in the end of August.
And just as a matter of feedback, if there is feedback, the policy committee would welcome it. You can email anybody on the policy committee, and we will make sure that we all get it. And especially if it's something that you think a lawyer should be involved in, the more notice we have, the better.
Yeah, there's about 12 policies in that first reading. So yeah, so make sure everybody reads them. They've got till the end of the month, and then that way we can get them done if there's any changes for August. All right, that concludes the voting section of the meeting. I will now open up the microphone for any other comments on any other issues. If you have a comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and residency, and try to limit your time to 3 minutes or less. And just to remind some of you that I see out there that are new, this is a comment section only, not a question and answer.
I won't have any trouble limiting my comments. My name is Bill Dwyer, 10 Stewart Drive, East Whiteland. First, I kind of get a chuckle about the voting for treasurer, and I get a chuckle because I remember, I think it was either last year or the year before, you practically had to twist Phil's arm to be treasurer again because nobody else wanted it. And now we've got this contest. That's not,
I don't recall that because I'd be, so.
I'm usually pretty good at it. My comments really are about the budget. I know the budget's been approved and everything, and it's great to see that there's no tax increase this year. Probably everybody's really in favor. I'm really happy about that, let's say. I'm concerned because there's an increase in the budget of over $4 million this year, only $1 million or $2 million of which is applicable to the pension fund. So we really have an increase of over $3 million in the budget. We cannot continue to grow the budget the way we have for the last several years. And I challenge you, when you come back in the fall, we need to take a hard look at the budget for next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Someone's got to be first.
Okay. Well, I'm Ryan Giandonato. I'm a junior over at Great Valley High School, and I'm here with the baseball team today. And I just wanted to talk about Coach Matt Schultz's reassignment to the middle school. Coach serves as a mentor to not only his students, but especially to his players. He has made it clear that he expects anyone who's given an opportunity to play varsity baseball to serve as a leader on the field and in the classroom and hallways. His presence at the high school is a reminder of that every school day. Coach's door is always open to listen to any of our problems or just to chat. He sees his job as baseball coach as a year-round endeavor, not just during the baseball season in the spring. We fear that a move to the middle school will fracture this relationship. Coach would not always be available to communicate with us, and we would miss many of those times where we can look to him for advice, guidance, and support. Great Valley is very lucky to have such a knowledgeable baseball coach who also goes the extra mile. Just like we would expect as students, shouldn't a teacher who gives more than he should be rewarded and not reassigned? We hope you will reconsider your decision for the good of the Great Valley baseball program and the school as a whole, not only for us, but the many players who will come after us. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, any responses? None? Any other board comments?
Oh, I just wanted to apologize for speaking out of turn. So I forgot.
I just wanted to say that I did thoroughly enjoy commencement Friday night. Our children amaze me at every turn. I really want to thank our administrative team and all our staff because as a school board member, there's nothing like award ceremony and commencement for me. It is a true honor to serve on this board, and when I sit at commencement and I hear our children speak and see the wonderful opportunities they have ahead of them, it really, really brings a tear to my eye. So I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. Again, it was a wonderful time.
Yeah, kudos to that. And thank you, Jim, and the facilities group for ordering that wonderful weather. No, everything was set up and ran smoothly, so I'm sure there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know about. So thank you, and all your staff. So, all right, any other comments? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion second? All those in favor to adjourn? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Have a good evening and have a good summer. We'll see you in August.